What's up, YouTube? It's Coy again in Knoxville, Tennessee. Taking a little ride up Maynardville Highway here. Probably ride into Union County somewhere. In fact, I know I'm going to ride into the city of Maynardville. Take a right that's a road that'll take me over to the Plainview community on near Tazewell Pike. And I'll take Tazewell Pike back towards the house. Yesterday I posted a video showing how I was going to mount my Sena 20S unit to my helmet, and basically, you know, saying I was going to use that and the Sena GP10 to record audio, and man, am I impressed. I did a little video before this where I basically just rode as fast as I could in traffic on Maynardville Highway. I think I got it to like 60, and you couldn't even tell that I was, I mean, you could obviously see in the videos on a motorcycle, and you could hear the engine a little bit, but you couldn't see, I mean, like, you couldn't hear any wind noise at all. So I'm very impressed. Glad I got the idea for this Sena 20S unit from Two Wheel Obsession. I freaking love this thing, man. I want to kind of correct something. Yesterday in my video, I was talking about where I've got my camera mounted and how, you know, I want to make sure my equipment's safe and blah, blah, blah. I was not in any way, shape, or form implying that Brian Glenn doesn't know what he's doing or that his version's not safe. It looks great. It works great for him on his helmet. This helmet being a cheaper helmet, I mean, it didn't work with this one. I think if I had the Shoei RF 1200, it would work great. And I would feel 100% confident that it would stick. And, I mean, he's been using tape, 3M tape, and stuff like that a lot longer than I have. I mean, I don't feel comfortable with it. Maybe one day I'll get more comfortable with it and move it down there, but for now I'm going to leave it where it is. But that's in no way, shape, or form saying there was anything wrong with the way he did it. A friend of mine watched the video last night, and he's like, man, that was kind of a jerk thing to say. And I was like, well, yeah, I guess so. That's not what I intended. So, yeah, sorry for that to anybody that will see it and think that it was me bashing somebody else. It definitely wasn't. I'll be so glad when they get this highway fixed. It's freaking loud. But, yeah, so, like I said, got the 20S mounted yesterday, rode with it a few minutes ago. I brought my tablet with me because I've got the GoPro app on it, and the sound quality was great, so I'm hoping for the same thing for this. So I watched a video a couple days ago on Two Wheel Obsession. Brian Glenn posted it, you know, talking about people that feel like they have to post a video every day and talk about stuff that nobody cares about, and I agree with him. Some of the guys that do that, man, like, I want to watch their videos because where they ride is beautiful, and, you know, sometimes they say funny stuff, but the other videos, man, it's like, I've got your 45-minute commute to work, and you're babbling. And I have no offense to them, but, you know, I don't care what their dog had for dinner last night, you know? Like today, I've got some pertinent things to talk about that I've seen on motovlogging, and, you know, it's mostly I say kids, I mean, hell, they're probably my age or older. I'm 28, but I see some of these guys getting out, and they're doing some of the dumbest things in the world, and they want to complain about people on cars, and I'm thinking, you know, you're part of the problem. That's why people have such a bad taste in their mouth about motorcyclists. Like, for instance, and I don't know where everybody's from, lane splitting is probably illegal in a lot of places, and a lot of people probably teach it because they think it's the safest practice. And I do agree there are dangers of being rear-ended in traffic and things like that. But at least where I'm riding, you're no safer splitting lanes than you are just watching the car behind you and leaving enough space with the car in front of you to go around them. Or split lanes at the last second if you have to avoid getting rear-ended. But these guys that ride through traffic, you know, a mile at a time at 15, 20 miles an hour, all it takes is some guy deciding he wants to dump his ashtray out, not paying any attention, because you shouldn't be there. You know, nobody, at least in the state of Tennessee, can do that. That's illegal. You don't have the right to do that just because you're worried about getting rear-ended. If you're that worried about getting rear-ended, maybe you're not riding safely. Maybe you're not leaving enough room for the car in front of you. I don't know. There's a lot of things there, but I don't see how that's safe. And maybe it's because I've always ridden a cruiser, and I mean, this is a big bike. I could fit between that Tacoma and that Tundra, but that would be pushing it. You know, if they were moving very slow and one of them just shifted a very little bit, I could be in trouble. Sure, I might not get hurt. Sure, I might not damage them. I might just hit that guy's tire that's sticking out too far and rip my saddlebag off. Well, there's $1,200 right out the window, not to mention whatever's in the saddlebag that I don't want to lose or break or, whatever. I kind of wish they would let us go. It's kind of hot. I was saying in my last video that it's a beautiful day for riding in Tennessee. When I left the house, it was 81, I think is what my cell phone app said. In the shade, man, 81 riding. It was actually kind of a little bit chilly. It's beautiful, though. It'll be a lot more beautiful when I get moving, but I guess it's worth it. We've been needing this road widened for years. I grew up just south of here, actually in the city of Knoxville in Fountain City, and we didn't come up here very often because it's such a headache and it's such a dangerous road. I mean, the road's been in rough shape we've been here for 26 years, I think. We moved here in like late 89, early 1990, so 25 years, almost 26. Oh my God. Come on, man. Poor lane choice on my part. I shouldn't have done that. I knew better. I was trying to get in front of that guy in that little Toyota. That's what my goal was, but I didn't count on that dump truck blocking up the road like that. But, I seen that, and I saw a guy whining and moaning that his license was suspended, and he got arrested because his license is suspended, and he posts videos all the time of him doing stupid stuff to get away from the cops in Atlanta. And I'm sitting there thinking, dude, you post this on YouTube. The cops are going to see it, and they know who you are because they've written you so many tickets for doing stupid stuff, specifically lane changing is what you were complaining about. You can't be mad at somebody who expects you to follow the law and holds you accountable. And I understand people don't like getting tickets. It costs money. It is what it is. But if you're doing stupid stuff and you're posting videos of it on YouTube, you're bringing it on yourself, man. Like, you're basically saying, hey, come to Atlanta because we can do whatever we want, get away with it, and even put it on the internet and nobody will do anything about it. It's like begging for them to do something to you. So, I wish guys wouldn't bring so much negative imagery to riding. I ride in a motorcycle club, and one of our things, man, is like, we're by no means a 1%er club. So let's go ahead and get that out there. It's not a 1%er club at all. It's the exact opposite. But one of our things, man, like, they don't want to, the other guys don't want to see, like, other guys in our club riding like a jerk in their colors. Now, granted, I'm the youngest member of the club, and I think the next youngest guy is in his late 30s. Well, I have a twin brother. He's in the club, too. But other than us, the next youngest guy is like in his late 30s. So, not a lot of those guys do anything stupid, and nobody rides a cross rocket. Not that we're not open to that, just nobody wants to, It's a bunch of older, tired guys mostly. I'm trying to influence some of my younger friends to come join, because when those guys die, there's nobody younger, you know, that's been in a club for a long time. The club's going to go away, and I don't want to see that happen. It's been around since the 60s. We got like 65 members now. Yeah, 65-ish. I'd have to ask my brother. He's the treasurer, so he kind of keeps up with all that. But I know I'm the road captain. I don't want to see anybody doing anything stupid. That would really, really tick me off. You know, I'm guilty of it. Sometimes I want to get out and kind of push the limits a little bit on this big-ass, you know, cruiser bike. But when I do that, I don't wear my colors. Now, I don't wear my colors a lot anyways when I'm by myself. There's been an issue lately just south of us in, like, southern East Tennessee with some rival motorcycle gangs. And I don't want to be confused for something that I'm not, so I just don't wear it. Now, if I'm with the group, sure, you know, there's several of us, and, you know, it's pretty obvious who we are. We're not going to do anything to, you know, we're not there to infringe on anybody's turf. We're just there to ride together, as little as we do that. But, you know, it hurts me to see it, you know, like, these guys, they don't know how much of a disservice they're doing to themselves and really the motorcycling community. You know, if you want to get on the interstate and ride 80 miles an hour, that's fine. Most cars are doing at least 65 to 70 miles an hour, and there's a lot of cars going 80. You're not going to offend anybody. Now, if you weave in and out of traffic at 110 on your crotch rocket, then yeah, you're going to piss some people off, and rightly so. Like, when I'm in my truck driving down the interstate, and I'm in the left lane, and I'm going, you know, 65, 70, which is speeding. You know, speed limit in Knoxville is 55. I don't want to see some guy coming up on me that is, you know, 3/4 of a mile behind me, and then 10 seconds later he's on my bumper revving his little, you know, lawnmower engine. Wing, wing. Like, I'll get over, dude, but you got to give me a second. You were on me so fast I didn't have time to do anything. Don't be mad at me that I couldn't get over in time for you. You know, even if you approached me at 80, I would have plenty of time to get over. You know, if I look and see you, and I'm trying to get around the car that I'm passing, and before I can pass them, you're on my bumper, that's you, man. That's not me. You're the one going way too fast. And I understand the left lane's for passing, but if I'm passing somebody, you know, I'm passing somebody. It's one of those things. I'm not going to go 100 to pass them so that you can get by me at 120 without having to slow down. I'm just not going to do it. It's not safe for you. It's not safe for me. I don't want that ticket. You know, I'm not doing it. I actually like having decently inexpensive insurance, if you call it that. I can't take a hit on my insurance for somebody else. I can't. But some of the things about the area I ride in, people call, like, Knoxville the gateway to the Smokies or whatever, and I disagree a little bit. I think Townsend's the gateway to the Smokies. But, that being said, being in Knoxville, I mean, I'm like 30 minutes from some of the best roads all over the country at any given time. I can leave my house and be to Blount County in 30 minutes, 35, 40 minutes, somewhere in between there, depending on traffic. And then, I'm right there by the Smokies, and that's some wonderful riding. The Dragon is there. I've never ridden the Dragon. I don't really have any desire to ride the Dragon yet. You know, I've got 3,250 miles on this bike. I'm not comfortable with it enough to take it on the Dragon. It's a big motorcycle, and I don't know, man. I feel like I would get run over by crotch rockets because I wouldn't be going fast enough. And I don't want to get in everybody's way. That's not me. I'd rather just, you know, go to what I feel I can do right now and eventually work up to getting there if I ever do. I mean, I just don't have any desire to say I rode the Dragon. there's a road called Foothills Parkway that will lead you to the Dragon from Townsend. And it's, I mean, I ride that road probably once every couple of months. I go down there all the time to ride that road. I go down there in the fall to take pictures of my motorcycle with the mountains with all the color-changing leaves as the background. I love that. I love that trip. It's a fun ride. I just love it. I like taking this ride. This ride's, you know, it's a good 30, 45-minute ride. Get out of the house. You know, like, for instance, it's Friday. I work night shift, so I got off at 8 this morning. I was in bed by 9. I woke up at 2 o'clock. Just couldn't sleep. I knew I was going to make a video before I went and picked up the kids from daycare anyways to test the audio quality. But, you know, it's Friday. It's a beautiful day. The kids are in daycare. They love daycare. They love playing. Why not enjoy this little 30, 45-minute ride and then go pick them up from daycare and get to spend the evening with them? You know, I live in an area where I can do that and just enjoy it and get some curves and get some straightaways and pick up some speed and, you know, all that stuff. It's beautiful here. You know, I'm in Union County right now. I'll come back into the northern end of Knox County on Tazewell Pike. I left the northern end of Knox County on Maynardville Highway. If I wanted to, I could take this road. At one point, it goes to the left somewhere. And I could take that into Granger County and ride over to Jefferson County, and there's great, beautiful roads, man. I mean, I could ride for 4 hours and never hit that many straightaways or that many like state highways, or big state highways like I was just on. I love riding in this area. There's a guy that, and every time I talk about him, I say I'm going to, like, remember his name, and I can't remember his name, but he lives, like, probably an hour and a half north of here. I think is what he said. He lives somewhere in northeastern Tennessee. But, I mean, he's got beautiful areas to ride, too. You know, East Tennessee is just one of the most beautiful places in the country, if you can deal with some of the backwards people that live here. And that's not so bad. I mean, you learn what to avoid. But I absolutely love this place. We came here when I was a kid. You know, I was like freaking 3 years old. I've been here ever since. I could have moved. But, you know, then I met my wife, and she's lived here since, like, 95, and, you know, this is home to us. We work together. My brother works with us. I wouldn't say we work together. She works day shift at the same place I work. My brother works the same shift as me. We both work the same night shift. So we have the same days off and stuff. But this is home to us. You know, my mom's here. My dad's not far from here. He's about an hour, like, east-ish, northeast, southeast maybe. Southeast. Near the North Carolina border. This is home to me. I'm not going anywhere. My job, I can retire after 30 years there with a pension, and you're not going to find that many places anymore. And I'm 10 years in, so you know I'm here. Man, it feels good. I was whining about the sun a minute ago. This shady little back road is gorgeous. I love this road. My brother and I come up here and ride this, you know, all the time. Like, hey, you want to go for a ride? Yeah, let's go up to Maynardville and take that right and go back to Tazewell Pike. And then he lives in Knoxville, actually in the city limits, and I don't. But we get to a point, honk the horns at each other. I go right, he keeps going straight, and, you know, see him around, you know, see him the next time. It is just beautiful. But I recorded a video, I guess Sunday? Yeah, 6 days ago, last Sunday, whatever day that was. And I guess it's the 19th. I rode to North Dam on North Freeway. For those of you that don't know, East Tennessee has got a ton of lakes in it. None of them were created by God. They're all man-made by lakes, or by dams, ran by the Tennessee Valley Authority. And to get to every one of those dams, there's beautiful roads. North Freeway, that ride, it's like a 30-minute ride for me, if that. I can go park my motorcycle up at the top of the overlook, smoke a cigar. Not today. I mean, it's freaking too hot for that. Sit out in the sun. But, you know, like in the fall, when it's like 60 degrees, I can go up there, sit on a bench, overlook the water, smoke a cigar, just have some me time, and go back home. And do all that in an afternoon after I wake up before I have to go get my kids from daycare. You know, not many other people have good rides like that close. It's just crazy. But trying to remember what else I wanted to talk about. I've talked about the crazy kids on their sport bikes, them young hoodlums, Plainview, city limits. I don't know that it's actually really a city, but it has a post office. Talked about the beautiful roads here. I've mentioned in a previous video the motorcycle I ride, but I'll say it again just in case you haven't seen that. There is a video. If you look at my channel, the first video I posted kind of goes into detail about it. But it is the Yamaha V-Star 1300 Deluxe model. So like in 2007, Yamaha released the V-Star 1300, and then like a year later they did the Touring, which is what my brother has. It's got instead of this big plastic fairing, it's got a long windshield on the front that goes down to the headlight. It's got hard saddlebags like my bike's got, but they're like fake leather wrapped instead of painted to match the motorcycle like mine are. And it doesn't have any like stereo equipment. And my brother bought his in 2012, and I trying to be economical, I bought my dad's girlfriend's old V-Star 650. That was a good bike, but I had to upgrade from it, so I got this bike. Bought it brand new, and I will probably, as my primary motorcycle, never ever buy another used motorcycle. I will probably ride this one until like I absolutely have to get rid of it, because I love it. It was not, in the scheme of things, it was not expensive. I mean, it was expensive, but in my opinion, $13,000 for a motorcycle is expensive. But it's not nearly as expensive as like a $26,000 Harley, which they're great bikes. If you got the money for them, and that's what you want that extra power and that Harley badge, go for it. I just, I had one son already. Another one was on his way. I couldn't spend the money on a Harley. I couldn't do it. I knew that I'd have the expensive daycare and another set of diapers and all that. You got to live within your means. There's some controversy out there about should you finance a motorcycle because it's a toy, you don't really need it. And my argument is, if you have anything more than a 1.5% interest rate on a motorcycle, then no, you shouldn't finance it. I got lucky. I had good credit, so I was able to finance the bike and not pay a fortune in interest. So, yeah, I financed it because, realistically, I'm paying like $13 in interest or rent, a rental fee per month to the credit union for my motorcycle. And I would rather do that and have the money in the bank if an emergency came up, and not have to use credit cards with like a 26% interest rate. And that came in handy. Half the roof blew off in a storm a couple months ago. So, the insurance company only paid for that half. Well, you got to pay for the other half. I'm not going to have half a roof that's 15 years old and the other half that's brand new would look kind of dumb. But we're back in Knox County. This is Tazewell Pike. Beautiful road. Some people may call it God's country. And it's beautiful. Like, I love it. But, you know, and I agree with the people that say, don't do it. If you don't need to, or you're not financially set up where you can make payments on it comfortably, don't do it. I mean, you can wait a couple, if you don't think you can make the payments on it, then what makes you think you can afford insurance on it? And, you know, stuff's going to break on it. You're going to have to pay to fix it. You know, you got to pay for good gear. Gear wears out. You got to replace that. And I know I'm preaching you got to have good gear, and I've got like a $100 helmet on my head. But, you know, all the helmets are tested the same. You get more comfort if you pay more money. And you get more durability. But when I bought this helmet, I was still riding the 650. I wasn't sure that motorcycling was going to be my thing. Look at all those, is that wild geese or turkey? That's geese. That's a lot of geese over there. But, you know, as I progress, I will go out and buy an expensive helmet. And I've got the one thing I did spring for is I sprung for a very nice jacket. But it's a leather jacket, and I don't wear it in the summer because it's too hot. And I probably should wear a jacket. I know a lot of people preach that you should, and I'm not saying you shouldn't. I just don't. That's a risk I take. You know, I make sure to wear boots. I make sure to wear good thick jeans. I wear gloves. You know, I do all that. When I'm not recording, I have a Daytona brand half helmet that I wear. And before I got the Sena, part of that was so I could actually, like, my brother has one of those flip-up helmets on the front, modular helmets, I guess you'd call them. So when I pull it to a light, he couldn't understand a word I'd say, and he'd flip the front part of his helmet up, and he'd be like, dude, I can't hear you. And so I want to be able to talk to people, and it's kind of a stupid reason to have a half helmet, but, you know, it's comfortable. I came to a point where there was, you know, did I want to enjoy the cruiser feel with the half helmet, or did I want the full face helmet? And it came down to the fact that I wanted the cruiser feel, and, you know, I will never, ever go without a helmet, though. My grandparents live near Gainesville, Florida, like 45 minutes from there, maybe an hour. And I went and visited them, and all the people without helmets on, I was like, you all are insane. And I know Florida's law does not require that they wear a helmet, and more power to them, but no thank you. Like, I value my skull. I want to do as much as I can to protect it while I'm riding down the road. And I know I've heard, I talk about him a lot because he's the one I watch the most, but Brian Glenn on Two Wheel Obsession on his channel, he calls them squids. I've never heard that before him, but man, they're insane. And most of them weren't even from Florida. They were like, they're visiting. I guess it's, you know, oh, the freedom, I can not wear a helmet and get away with it. No, I'm going to do that because it's awesome. Okay. That's your thing, man. More power to you. I hope that your head doesn't hit the pavement if you lay your bike down. And I can talk from experience. I had a serious bike accident when I was 18 where I wasn't wearing a helmet. And, man, I'm lucky to be alive. Like, I slammed my head into the pavement. Like, I was riding down a steep hill, I went to the University of Tennessee. That's where I graduated from with my undergrad degree. And there's a steep hill there on campus. So I was probably going like 15, 20 miles an hour, and that doesn't seem like a lot. But when your head hits the pavement first at that speed, I had a pretty serious concussion. Like, I don't remember anything from the days leading up to that. I have I have problems with all kinds of stuff from that to this day. So, you know, I'm lucky that I'm not dead or a vegetable. You know, I could be in a lot worse shape than I'm in, and I thank God every day for that. So, you know, I will always preach that you should wear a helmet on a bicycle, on a motorcycle, no matter what. But you know, it is what it is. We've got a problem here. We don't have a problem with people not wearing their helmets. Every now and then you'll see it. Somebody will come from Kentucky where you don't have to wear a helmet, and they won't think about it. And I guess they don't run into a state trooper, you know, 80 miles on the interstate between Kentucky and here. But you just don't see it often. The biggest thing I see is guys riding in shorts and tennis shoes, or even flip-flops for that matter. Like, how do you, it's usually guys on Harleys with a heel-toe shifter like I've got. I guess that's how you shift gears, but I saw a guy on a crotch rocket doing it, and I'm thinking, how do you shift gears in flip-flops? Can you imagine pushing up on the gear shifter with your toes without anything on them? Ouch. No, thank you. I made the mistake one day of getting in a hurry trying to get out of the house to go somewhere. It was when my second son was born. My wife was still in the hospital, and I had my bike at the dealership getting the service done, and they called me and they said, hey, you know, your bike's been ready for 2 days. Are you going to come get it? We don't want to charge you storage fees. And I thought to myself, I just bought that motorcycle from you and paid a service plan. And, you know, like, you can hold on to it an extra day for me until my wife gets out of the hospital, and not charge me a storage fee. But I understand it was beginning of summertime. They needed the room because they had a lot of people bringing in their bikes, and they didn't want to have to store mine outside because of the electronics on it. So I see where they're saying, you know. So I rush home, have my mom meet me to take me out there because nobody else was available, you know, like the middle of the day. She takes me up there, and I get there, and I get on the bike, and I realize, holy crap, I'm wearing tennis shoes. I guess I'm taking the bike home in tennis shoes. That was the most miserable, like, 12-mile ride I've ever had. It was horrible. I don't ever want to do that again. And that was before I was using the heel shifter, so maybe it wouldn't be as bad with the heel shifter. I don't know. But I definitely didn't like it. And I mean, I see guys doing it all the time. And shorts, don't even get me started. I happened upon a wreck like a year ago where this guy had never ridden a motorcycle in his life, never took the safety course, didn't even have a driver's license from what I overheard people saying. And so he buys an R1 from his buddy and takes it out and ends up under the tandem wheels of a tractor trailer and under the trailer. And fortunately, you know, I don't think he died. I mean, he didn't look like he was going to die. But, man, was he chewed up. His legs, he was wearing shorts and a tank top, like a wife beater T-shirt, or a shirt, I guess they're called. And he was in rough shape. You know, that guy's going to have some serious scarring. And not to mention the freaking pain that's going to come from it, man. I mean, no thanks. So, he, you know, and I see guys doing that all the time. And like these women that'll be on the back of their boyfriend's motorcycle in their little shorty shorts with their butt crack hanging out and the little spaghetti strap shirt. You know, I mean, I hope they don't fall off of there because he's riding like a jerk. Because, you know, at least they have a helmet on. At least they have enough sense to do that. But, you know, you'll see the guy, he's got his full jacket on, his little, like, leather pants on, his nice racing gloves, his $800 helmet, and she's got a helmet like I've got from Cycle Gear, and T-shirt, shorts, and flip-flops. It's like, man, if you want your girl to ride with you, make her do it safely. And if she doesn't want to, don't let her ride. You know, my wife doesn't ride with me, and it's not because she wouldn't wear all the gear. It's because she's genuinely freaked out by motorcycles, and that's fine. You You know, this is the third video I've said it in, and hopefully it's recorded better this time. I don't make her get on the bike because if it's not comfortable for her, it's not safe for me. And, I mean, if she's panicking because, like, for instance, I'm going into a really sharp right-hand curve and the floorboard scrapes. I know what that sounds like. I know it's going to be okay. But she may not, and she probably knows that too. She may not think of that at that moment. She might absolutely spaz out and cause me to lose it, you know, flip over on its side or something. And then, even, you know, assuming we don't get hurt, it's still a ton of damage to the motorcycle. But we're probably going to get hurt in it. One of us is going to get hurt at least. And there's even more, you know, that's even more stress than we already have. It's just not worth it, you know. If she doesn't want to ride, I don't want to make her. My sister-in-law rides with my brother, but she grew up on the back of her dad's motorcycle. You know, I mean, she's okay with it. She knows what the deal is. She knows what's going down. My wife doesn't like following me in the car and see me lean into turns. Like, well, that's the only way you're going to make it through the turn, you know. But, yeah. This will probably be a good ending point for the video, so I'm going to end it here. Not too far from the house. So, enjoy the weather. Hopefully it's not monsooning like it has been here in your area. Ride safely. Take pride in the way you ride your motorcycle. Don't be a jerk. And I will see you next time.